Hey, so I just recorded a video of myself talking, but it was 20 minutes, and that's really long. I'm gonna try and make this brief because it's 12 o'clock now and I want to go to sleep. But okay, so here we go. You said you don't know if there's any good way to change people. And I agree with that, and I disagree with that at the same time. Because I think that, I agree because I think it's important to not think of one's objective as changing people. Because, first of all, it's kind of just like patronizing to another person, but, to go back to Gandhi, and many nonviolent thinkers believe that we don't know what truth is. We don't know what is right, and we don't know what's wrong. We don't know what's correct and what's incorrect. We don't know what's good and what's bad, for sure, right? Like we have our own sort of truths, our own perspectives, but it's impossible to say that anything is right or anything is wrong. It's just like science, right? Like the whole theory behind science is, I'm sure you know much better than I do, is that like everything has to be able to be disproved, right? It's the same kind of theory. Like we're not all knowing. There's a lot of things going on in this universe that we aren't aware of and don't understand. And to think that we know everything and that like we know the truth is kind of arrogant, and also not true. And so, or not necessarily true. We'll never know. So that's part of it. And that fits into nonviolent thinking because a lot of people believe that if I can't be certain of what the truth is, then how could I act violently against somebody? Right? Like how could that ever be justified? How could I act with someone against someone with hate if I don't know what I'm saying is true or right or correct or good? Right? I think it is. To me, it makes sense, but to them, it probably doesn't. Right? Like, and so that's the thing. So that's sort of like where these conversations come into play. These conversations, I believe, should be not about changing someone or changing someone's point of view even, but it should just be about rounding both of your perspectives and saying, okay, this is what my truth is. This is what makes sense to me. This is where my perspective is. And this is why I think, for me, this is a conflict. And this is what I like truly believe in what's going on in me. And then by doing that and giving that to them, that will round out their perspective. And then they'll do the same thing for you. So that's the general idea with that. But I do think be wary of trying to change someone. I think it's interesting that you say, I don't totally understand what you're saying about changing someone's. Are you guys both going to sleep? Okay, I will be done in a couple of minutes. So. I think it's interesting that you say about I'm not a fan of pointing out people's flaws. I don't totally understand what you're trying to say in that. I'm a little confused how it fits into everything. But yeah, we can have a conversation about pointing out flaws later. Because I kind of disagree with it. Looking at the other way, yeah, perspectives. Yeah, I see. Is there even really a how to it? Do you just need to open a person's eyes to love and show them it's better than hate? Kind of, but again, I think be wary of thinking of yourself as opening someone's eyes. Because again, that's just kind of a little patronizing in a way, right? So that's part of it. I'd say it's about, part of it is like showing by example, right? Like, we're able to have this conflict and I'm able to remain calm and loving and patient, and somehow I kind of end up like winning, but just by being persistent. So usually like what can change someone is almost always is persistency. It's whoever can stay out longest. And so usually when people are mean, the person who's less mean will back out sooner, right? So it seems like hate is is the way to go, but it's not because of the hate, it's because of the persistency. Does that make sense? So if you're persistent and loving, you're just as likely to win. In fact, I'd say you're even a little more likely to win because there is a guilt factor also of like, I'm being mean to this person, I'm yelling at this person every day, I'm smacking this person in the face, and they're smiling back at me and saying that they still care about me, and they want me to stop doing that, and that I need to stop doing that, but they're still going to be here, and they're still, like, they still love me, and that's really powerful, and like, how can you hit someone when they're saying that to you? So that's part of it. And yeah, it's a lot easier to hit someone who's being mean to you, right, than someone who's being really nice. So yeah, that's a big part of it, and I don't know. So there's lots of parts to it. But yeah, a big part of it, again, as I said in the text earlier, it's not just about love. And Gandhi will say that over and over again. A big part of his thing is like, you have to be like really, really, really disciplined. The people who were with Gandhi, the Satyagrahis, were incredibly disciplined. It wasn't just like they were loving and kind. Like they also like fasted for very long periods of time. They only wore certain types of cloth. They only ate certain types of things. They were abstinent. They were all of these things. It was all about discipline. It was all about persistence and being able to be strong. So that's a really, really big part of fighting in general, and fighting just not like aggressively or violently, but just in terms of like conflict. Yeah, so love sometimes needs that even more because you can be getting blows, and you're not. You're not. But again, you can protect yourself from blows, but just don't blow back. Yeah. So that's. Don't take this sexually. Yeah, that is that. And we'll talk more.